Hello everybody and welcome to Pass the Popcorn. I'm TJ Fiorillo.
I'm Joe Alvaro.
Today we're going to be reviewing the movies Easy A, Super 8, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Stay tuned, you're watching Pass the Popcorn on RUTV.
Let me just begin by saying that there are two sides to every story, and this is my side, the right one. I used to be anonymous, and nothing, and non-entity.
Olive, that's your name, right?
Yeah, we've had 9 classes together since kindergarten. So here it is, part 1.
Do you want to go out with me?
Brandon, just a couple hours ago you told me you were gay.
You said I should pretend to be straight.
I didn't mean with me.
I am tormented every day at school. Just one good imaginary fling.
Which brings us to part 2.
Was that Olive with Brandon?
No grunt and make it convincing.
Oh! Oh, not this!
You ready for the grand finale?
Yeah. What? Oh! Yeah! Thank you. What's that?
I always thought that pretending to lose my virginity would be a little more special. Judy Blume should have prepared me for that.
Brandon told me what you did for him. No, he told me the truth. I was just hoping that maybe you could do the same for me.
So whether I liked it or not, I was open for business. 20% off to Bath & Body Works. Is that how much our imaginary trust meant to you? I fake rocked your world.
We need to pray for her, but we also need to get her the hell out of here.
Amen. On Monday, things took a turn for the scandalous.
Screw all these people, Olive.
Ironically, we were studying the Scarlet Letter. This girl named Hester Prynne has an affair with the minister, is besmirched, and made to wear a red A for adulterer.
Perhaps you should embroider a red A on your wardrobe.
I'm not proud of this.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please.
No judgment, but you kind of look like a stripper.
Mom?
A high-end stripper for governors or athletes.
Is she the one everyone's talking about?
Yes.
I know exactly what you're doing. If I promise not to tell anyone, could I kiss you right now?
I had a similar situation when I was your age. I had a horrible reputation.
Why?
Because I slept with a whole bunch of people, mostly guys.
Mom! There's a higher power that will judge you for your indecency.
Tom Cruise.
Welcome back everybody. You just saw a trailer for the movie Easy A, which basically is a story about a high school girl who makes up all kinds of stories and lies about how she lost her virginity, and she becomes kind of like an ostracized figure around the high school campus. So it's a story where she's okay with being, you know, the outsider, and then after time it builds up. And Joe, what do you think about the story?
Well, TJ, I think first and foremost, you shouldn't go into this film expecting an American Pie or a Superbad, which is what I did. And it's not one of those films, but it's also not like a John Hughes, like a Breakfast Club or a Fast Times at Ridgemont High type of film. It's in this weird Netherland in between, and that kind of worked for it. It's a little raunchy, but at the same time, it's got a good message. And I think that was really good. Emma Stone, who probably is best known as Jules in Superbad, is she's great in this movie, and I really liked it. It's kind of a modern adaptation of The Scarlet Letter, and it's a really cool movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It was a good movie. I enjoyed watching it. Throughout the course of the movie, there were some funny parts, some good one-liners. Emma Stone plays a very, very witty character, so she usually throws in a little dig at the end of a conversation or argument with anybody, and she doesn't get silenced too many times. So again, that really helped to make this movie complete. It's funny, it has drama, it has a little bit of love in it, but yeah.
I agree with you with that. I think Emma Stone's performance was very good. I mean, we've seen her before in Superbad, and she was kind of a limited role in that movie, but she's broadened herself a lot, and this role, you know, she was able to take center stage, and I was a little concerned going into this how she would be as a lead, and it was very good. And beyond her, there were some appearances in this movie that I thought were pretty cool, and especially for someone like our age who remembers old Nickelodeon. Amanda Bynes plays the main villain, who's like an ultra-Christian conservative who brands Emma Stone as an outcast. And there was also, you didn't even pick up on it the first time you saw it, but there was a little cameo by Danny Tamborelli from The Adventures of Pete and Pete. So that was pretty cool. I like seeing that.
Yeah, again, definitely worth your time watching this movie. It was good, funny, a lot of characters that you would recognize from our generation. So definitely that gets my nod to definitely go out and see it.
I agree.
We're going to be taking a short commercial break, but stay tuned because after the break, we're going to be reviewing Super 8. You're watching Past the Popcorn on RUTV.
From September to April, the third Thursday of the month will be Bias Prevention, Education, and Awareness Day.
Do your part to build a just community. Think before you speak. There is no such thing as free speech. All speech has consequences and costs.
If you experience or witness any act of bias, contact Dean Cheryl Clark at 848-445-4088 or file a report online at www.bias.rutgers.edu and you will receive a response within 24 hours.
I've got nothing against your friends. I like your friends. Well, things have obviously changed for us.
I have to help Charles finish his movie.
Be good for you to spend some time with kids who don't run around with cameras and monster makeup.
Could you close your eyes, please? Yeah. And action! Guys, watch out!
An eastbound freighter derailed. What the cargo was on that freighter, we don't know.
I can't tell anyone. I know.
I understand you have concerns about our cargo.
Colonel, there isn't anything else that I should know, is there?
I can assure you the answer is no.
We've got calls from people who found local dogs, but the calls coming in aren't local.
Lucy!
It's like they all just ran away.
I've got property damage. I've got theft. I've got 9 people missing now. There are things happening around here that I can't explain.
We have to find this thing.
I don't feel good about this.
Go!
I saw it. No one believes me.
I believe you. What the hell?
Welcome back. You just saw a trailer for the J.J. Abrams film, Super 8. This film takes place in the late 1970s. It's about a group of kids making a zombie movie who witness a train crash, and they uncover a bit of a mystery, and they spend most of the film trying to figure out what's going on. I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I had a smile on my face the entire time I was watching it. It really reminded me of what it felt like to be a kid. TJ, what do you think?
Well, yeah, Joe, I think this is a good movie. A lot of the actors were young. It was your typical movie where kids are doing their first few movies of their careers, but you really couldn't tell. It was a movie that the acting was very good. A lot of good suspense, a lot of drama in the movie. So yeah, I think that was something that really made this movie strong.
I agree completely. I think that these kids were fantastic. They made you feel like you were a 12-year-old making films. And I remember being that kid running around with my friends with a video camera trying to make movies, and it brought back all those memories for me, and it felt awesome watching this movie. The performances were fantastic. I think the one downside with this film is the third act is very weak. I think it takes sort of a weird turn, and it kind of tries to wrap everything up a little too quickly. It gets a little too E.T., which at times that works for this film. In the beginning, it feels very like E.T. And very Goonies, too. And I think that works for it. But at the end, it gets a little too weird.
Yeah. I'm sitting in my room watching the movie. The first 60, 65 minutes are really, really good. My friend actually comes and asks me, he says, what movie you watch? And I said, Super 8. They're like, oh, that movie, the ending's no good. And I was like, all right, well, thanks for spoiling it for me. But I watched it all the way through, obviously, and I wasn't dissatisfied with the ending because it did wrap everything up. But I'm looking at the scrubber on the movie saying there's 10 minutes left and there's still so many things left unanswered. And they did throw together a patchwork ending. They could have done it a little bit better, in my opinion, but still, it doesn't completely wash away how good the first half to 2/3 of the movie was.
Absolutely, and I will say the best part of this movie is the credits, when you actually get to see the movie that these kids made, and it's probably like a 10-15 minute movie, and it's just fantastic. It was really fun to see that. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but first, let's throw it over to Mariama to take a look at what's on Are You at the Movies this month.
Happy New Year, Rutgers, and welcome to another installment of What's on Are You at the Movies. I'm your host, Mariama Oluwahuche, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on some of the fantastic movies playing this month on RUTV's channel 30, 60, and 106.1. Now, I've also taken it upon myself to give you some sweet tips on how to be a straight-up baller all throughout this new year. It all starts with The Art of Getting By. This film will tell you the story of a lonely teen who's made it all the way through his senior year without ever having done a real day of work. Now that's a shot caller. And if that's not G enough for you, make sure you catch Easy A, the story of a clean-cut high school student who relies on the school's rumor mill to advance her social and financial standing. Here's a clip.
Last year's cause celeb was the changing of the school mascot.
Give it up for your very own Blue Devil! Blue Devil!
Now, thankfully, we're much less intimidating.
Give it up for the Woodchucks! Woodchucks!
I like Todd much better when he was topless.
Yeah, but even dressed as a woodchuck, I still fantasize about him.
If you're looking to be more of a proactive kind of baller, Super 8 will tell you the story of a group of friends who witness a train crash and take it upon themselves to investigate various unexplained events in their small town. Also playing on RUTV this month will be Wall Street 2, Money Never Sleeps, a film that will be sure to teach you how to be a boss. Catch a pair of powerful men in action as they embrace an opportunity to take down a Wall Street enemy and rebuild their own empire. Now, I think we can all agree that there's nothing more baller than ruling your neighborhood's roller skating rink. Roll Bounce, taking place in the 1970s, is a coming-of-age comedy that'll have you on your feet jamming to the beat. Here's a clip.
See, yeah, that's that real collagen loving. See, you got work to make work it. I ain't get this sexy overnight. Hey, baby.
I hate you!
Baby powder, let's talk about this. Let me buy you some nachos with cheese.
Now, the grandfather baller himself, Jimi Hendrix, will also have his documentary playing all month long. The film contains tons of concert footage ranging from his performance at the Marquee in 1967 to his last UK performance in 1970. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity to get down with your bad self. Now, of course, these are only a few of the many baller movies we've got playing on RUTV this month. To get a full list, just visit rutv.rutgers.edu. And if you have any movie suggestions, be a baller and post it up on our Facebook page. Just search RUTV Network. For What's on Are You at the Movies, I'm Mariama Oluwahuche, and I'll see you all next time.
I Am Rutgers is a student-centric media source created expressly for Rutgers students by Rutgers students. This online magazine, launched in 2011, aims to paint a picture of the full student experience, from first years to seniors. I Am Rutgers aims to provide you with a fresh look at life at the university and to the diversity of perspectives and experiences of the average Rutgers student. For more information on I Am Rutgers and how to get involved, go to i-am.rutgers.edu.
Friends to die for you rather than face me yourself. On this night, confront your fate.
We can end this. I never wanted any of you to die for me. Come on, Tom. Let's finish this the way we started. Together!
Only I can live forever.
Alright guys, so welcome back. You just saw the trailer for Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Now this movie, for me, it's part of a long series. Obviously, Harry Potter's been one of the more successful book-to-movie series in a long time. For me, I've stopped reading the books at the fourth one. I've seen all the movies up until the fifth one, I believe, before watching this one. But really, what I kind of liked about this movie was that watching it jogged my memory to things that had happened earlier on in the series. So I didn't feel too lost, but again, there are things that I didn't quite understand because of that. Can you comment on that a little bit? What do you think?
Well, I actually had a couple problems with this film, and I know people are going to take offense to that, but I think it really does suffer from being Part 2. They make no effort to really remind you of what happened in Part 1, and like I waited a year between the time I saw the first one and this one. So there was really no catching up. It's like if you turned on the original Star Wars as the Falcon's leaving the Death Star. Like, there's really no reminder of what happened before, and I think that hurts this film a lot.
Yeah, so obviously, like you talked about, it's the second part of year 7 of Harry's journey through Hogwarts, which does kind of hurt it in, like you said, there's a little bit of continuity issues in trying to remember what happened in the first part, which, I mean, if I could do it again, I'd probably go back and I'd watch the first part of 7, or watch the first part of year 7 and then go back and watch part 2. But like any other Harry Potter movie, this is really good special effects, a decent storyline. It's a little bit more plot heavy though than storyline. Talk a little about the plot.
Well, yeah, the plot sort of overwhelms the story, and I know that sounds confusing, but there is a difference between the two. The plot really becomes, all right, Harry and Voldemort are fighting. They're fighting just because this is like Voldemort's evil. But you kind of lose, in this film at least, you lose a little bit of why they're fighting. You lose that backstory because the exposition isn't there. The exposition was all in the first movie, and you don't have that.
Yeah, so, I mean, the ending of this movie is kind of confusing. You might have to think about it a little more, which is good in itself, that you have to put a little more thought into and read between the lines of what the director's trying to tell you, what the author's trying to tell you in the book. But, yeah, I enjoyed the movie for what it was. It was, like I said, decent special effects, decent storyline. The characters were good, as they have been in really all the Harry Potters. So I would also, another movie worth watching.
I agree completely.
Coming up, we're going to be giving you our ratings of the movies, but first we're going to hit the streets with Danielle to see what you guys had to say.
Hey everyone, I'm Danielle Noriega, and I'm here to see what your peers have to say about the new set of flicks on this edition of Pass the Popcorn.
I'm gonna have to go with James Franco.
Mark Wahlberg in the original.
I usually like to stick to the basics, so I'm gonna go with Mark Wahlberg in the original Planet of the Apes.
I guess Mark Wahlberg, because Mark's got a better body.
I would tell my other half to keep up the good work and keep studying hard for finals.
Maybe to have him come here and help me with finals, because maybe he could help me out.
I would definitely tell my other half not to come to Brower Dining Hall.
Study harder.
Another country I would love to explore would probably be Italy. I think I would, like, a lot of my friends speak Italian, so I would love to go there, and I think they have really good food, so I would like that a lot.
I think the language I like to learn is Chinese.
I like to explore Israel more and brush up on my Hebrew. I'd say I'd like to learn German.
had to carry another letter on my chest, it would be an E for my first name, and it would also stand for excellent.
My letter would be H for happiness.
I mean, I guess we'll go with the A. It stands for Captain America, so I have to carry on the A on my shirt. If I had to carry a letter around on my chest, it would definitely be a B for boss.
I think a letter I would carry would be D for different.
I would have him play, he's one of my favorite artists, I would have him play the song The Land of the New Rising Sun.
I like Purple Haze, that's one of my favorite songs, so I would play that one for me and my friends. I like All Along the Watchtower.
Well, now that you've heard what your peers have to say about these select movies, check out Are You at the Movies all month long.
All right, so welcome back. Now we're going to give you our ratings of the movies. We're going to start off with Easy A, which, again, I thought was a good movie, and I'm going to give it 4 popcorns out of 5.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a good film. If it's on, I'll definitely try and watch it again. I'm going to give it 3 popcorns, though.
Second movie we're going to be rating is Super 8, which another movie I did enjoy. The ending was a little weak for me, so I'm going to give it 3.5 popcorns.
I really enjoyed this movie as well. I think the third act did suffer a little bit, but I think it was redeemed a little bit by the movie and the credits, which I just loved. So I'm going to give this 4.5 popcorns.
And the third and final movie we'll be giving a rating to is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Again, good special effects, decent storyline. We'll give it 4 popcorns out of 5.
Yeah, I think this movie did suffer a lot by being a part 2. I don't think the special effects were as great as some people said they were, so I'm going to give it 2.5 popcorns.
So 2.5 popcorns, huh?
Yeah, it's harsh, but I think that's what it deserves.
Yeah, pretty brutal. But we'd like to close out the show by saying you can watch this or any episode anytime online, rutv.rutgers.edu. You
can also check us out on Facebook. Just search RUTV Network.
And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions about the show, email us, rutv_popcorn@email.rutgers.edu.
I'm sure we'll be getting a few emails about our Harry Potter review. Well, that's all we have for you today, Rutgers. I'm Joe Alvaro.
I'm TJ Fiorillo.
May the Force be with you.
Always.